If you were Peugeot, what would you do with your big family saloon? Sales of these cars have been dwindling thanks to the increasing popularity of SUVs. And then there's the likes of the BMW 3 Series and the Mercedes C-Class offering premium badges for, well, mainstream prices. Some mainstream manufacturers have got out of this market altogether, but Peugeot has a long history of big saloons and it's not about to abandon it just yet. This then is its rival for everything from the Audi A4 to the Vauxhall Insignia, the all-new 508. And it's a very different sort of 508 as well. Gone is the old three-box saloon, replaced by this swoopy fastback design, although the 508 SW Estate that's due early next year is arguably even more dramatic. Either way, this 508 is far more striking visually than the one it replaces. There are some big changes in here too. The 508 gets the latest version of Peugeot's iCockpit system with a small steering wheel that you look over to see the fully digital instrument panel, and here near the infotainment screen there are these piano key style buttons. Full marks to Peugeot for interior quality as well. This isn't a top spec edition, but the materials are really impressive and fit and finish is excellent. In this respect, the 508 feels every bit the close relative for the 3008 and 5008 that have done so much to transform Peugeot's image. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that it's a match for the 4 Series Grand Coupe. The only negative is the infotainment system, which is still a notch behind anything you'll get on a BMW, Mercedes or an Audi. It also doesn't help that you still have to control some of the car's functions through submenus instead of physical buttons. On the road, the Peugeot isn't quite as involving as BMW's finest, but it is a refined and surprisingly sporty alternative to the Germans. The ride is a bit fidgety around town, but it's never uncomfortable, and that small steering wheel makes the nose of the 508 feel very quick to respond when you get to the corners. The engine lineup's pretty strong. This is the 178 brake horsepower petrol, and it has just about enough shove to cope with a car of the 508's size. But we've also tried the 222 brake horsepower petrol and the middle of the diesels with 158 brake horsepower, and they had the low-down grunt to make the car seem quite brisk. It's refined too. The 8-speed automatic gearbox does a good job of keeping the revs sensible, even if you're pushing on. There is a manual option incidentally, but it's only on the lesser of the diesels. Next year, there'll be a plug-in hybrid version of the car that can do about 30 miles on electricity alone. Those dramatic looks haven't had too much of an impact on packaging. There's a decent amount of room for front passengers, and those in the rear will be happy enough with the leg and knee room. Taller people may complain about the low roofline though. The boot is a decent size at 487 litres, and it's easier to load big items in than before because of the hatchback layout. The all-new 508 is a deeply impressive car in lots of ways. Quality, refinement, comfort. But will it succeed? Its price looks a little high compared with the likes of the Insignia and the Mondeo. So the key could be whether Peugeot can resist the sort of discounting that pushes down resale values and in turn pushes up the total cost of ownership. Tough one, eh? But no one said it was going to be easy.